All my icons hidden. John, all this. I'm probably live. My volume just not up. I'm live. Watch my computer do a bag of things. So, if you can hear me, punch in a yes, please. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. I'm trying to work on this volume. Me late, me know. I have good explanation. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me loud and clear, or you can barely hear me? Just loud and clear. All right, we're gonna go with that. Morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra special big up shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to the entrepreneurs, the stay-at-home moms and pops, the retirees, the drivers, Uber driver, Lyft driver, truck drivers, food delivery drivers, long distance truck drivers, especially shout out to my brother Troy Stars Trucking Vlogs on YouTube. Get on his channel, tell Troy that SouFLoTV sent you. Show the brother some love by hitting that subscribe button. It's a brother that's doing a lot of positive things and teaching along the way. And I would like for you to go and support him. All right, big up to yourself. Listen, shout out to every clean-hearted, good-hearted person who wants good for others as much as you want good for yourself. You're the kind of person that deserves to be respected. If you want good for others just like you want good for yourself, I respect you. We're running a bit late this morning, but you know how I do. I normally give you your time back. So I'm going to jump out of my bed and I'm getting ready to do morning thoughts. And the computer starts doing a number. The computer won't start up. And then when it did start up, it went through a whole, what I'm calling it now? Updating. It went through a whole updating just now and reconfigured everything. I can't even find the volume for the computer. I don't know what the computer just did. So, you know, we're working with man-made things and anything can happen. Here I am, all right? Up this morning, feeling good, healthy, and giving thanks to the Most High for having me here above ground to see another day. Now, we got a couple of topics to talk about this morning. Let's start out, I'm going to go right into the topics, right? Before I shout out some people. And thank you all so much because I'm late and, you know, people have things to do. But to see how you guys tuned in just now, as soon as I came on, I have to big up some people first. So P-Niles123, you are the first one here. Thank you. I appreciate you greatly. Taj Stewart, Miss Goldie Robinson, and Alex and Jackie Tulach. Thank you for being here. And the rest of you as well. Now, people. Me and wifey having a conversation yesterday. We're going to talk about a couple of things. We're going to talk about the little boy that went viral saying that a gunman in Mwambi. We're going to talk about him. We're going to play his little video clip. Don't think I'm going to show his face, even though his face is already out there. But we're going to talk about, I saw a post that said a lot of black women would have turned out much differently had their mothers loved them more when they were girls. And I said to myself, that's a deep conversation, but let's have a broader conversation. A lot of people would have turned out much differently had their mothers loved them more when they were children. And then we're going to discuss black men versus black women, right? And how that would all work out with the mom giving more love, being there more, all that other stuff. But first, let's talk about the gunman step, all right? So me and wifey having a conversation the other day, and because we were watching a movie together. This was yesterday, and a gunman grabs a woman in front of her two children, right? So he grabs the woman. I want you to put yourself in this. This is you. This is happening to. A gunman grabs you in front of your two children, right? come here, hold you by the neck like this, gun to your head like this. Your two children are still right there. The gunman says, choose one. Somebody is going to have to die. Choose one, right? This is a conversation between me and wifey. Choose one. What would you do? Would you choose one? His alternative was either choose one or they both die. What would you do? Now, you might think this is a frivolous conversation, but this conversation got deep with me and the wife yesterday, so I figured I would share it with you guys this morning. All right? Gunman puts a gun to the woman's head and tells her in front of her two children, points the gun at her head first, then points it to the kids while holding the mom, and tells her to choose one of her children. One of them got to die by her choice, and if she doesn't choose, which is the most natural thing for any parent to do, would be for you to say, I'm not choosing. I can't choose. But the option is, if you don't choose, they both die. Beverly Smith says, Beverly, thank you for being the first one to respond. I'm trying to get the audience to be more interactive this morning. So Beverly says, I would not choose. They would have to choose me. That's not an option. That's not an option. He is there. He's holding you. Gun to your head. Gun on your kids. Choose one. He doesn't want you to choose you. He's not going to do anything to you. You either choose one or you watch both of them die. What would you do? Take me is out of it. It's not an option. The option is you choose one or he kills both of them. That's the option. You're going to watch both of them die, or you can choose which one you want to watch die today. Because you're going to watch it. That's how he had her. She muscle up, grip up in his, and her neck is in there, and she's forced to look at. This is a scene we were watching yesterday. She's forced to look at her two children standing in front of her. Gun is on them. Mommy has to choose one, or they both die. What would you do? I pray that none of us will ever be in this type of a situation, but I found it very interesting. My wife said that, I wish she said, come in, I want to get it wrong, because you know Miss Brains is, as soon as I get it wrong, she'll be right here in the comment section. All if she asleep. So I think she said she would choose both of them. Wifey said she would have choose the two of them. Oh, now you wouldn't choose, babe? But you said you would choose both of them before. Yeah, I mash up my thing, man. Choose the bastard with the gun. That ain't the choice. Not choosing, they would end up killing both and me. Both would have to die, babe. See that? All right. So wifey says she would choose both. Both would have to die. I don't think I could stand there and watch. Now, when me and her, right? Wifey said at the time she said she would choose both of them. I said you would watch both your kids die at the same time in front of you. I don't think you could live with that. I don't think you could live with that. After that, you're going to need help. You're probably going to end up killing yourself, or, you know. So I said now that I would choose one. Don't know which one it was going to be, but I would have to choose one. And then when I choose one dies, another one gets to live. But then how do you choose one? Because the other one is going to be like, it's rough. That's a rough question. End of the day, I decided that, hey, there's no right answer to this. There's no right answer to this, because just like one person just said in the comment section, I wouldn't choose none. If you don't choose none, he's shooting both of them. So you're going to watch both of them die. You're thinking he's going to let you die as well, or he's going to kill you as well, but he's not. He wants you to watch one or both die, and that's the deal. He's gonna let you walk. So you're walking after you just chose. That's a rough one, man. That's a Shyster 30. Thank you, man. I appreciate you so much. Bless up yourself, my family. It's been a minute. I know. I see you up on the gram though. So big up and bless up here. So I said, SouFlo, you come out dark this morning. It's a movie. We did watch a movie yesterday. But these things can actually happen in real life. You know what I say? You don't know when you could find yourself in a them situation here. So it was interesting because the conversation get heated now because my wife, I said, me not choose none. Me not choose none. And me say, but them are going to kill one. If you don't choose none, they both die. You have to choose one. So I would probably be thankful. This is what I said at the time. I would probably be thankful for the chance that I got a chance to choose. And even though it's going to be a hard choice, me can't watch two of them dead same time. That I couldn't live with, watching both my kids die right in front of me. So me I go choose one. Maybe the next one can come help me grieve. I don't know. I understand says a situation like that. And you know, one of you got to live. Or I see people saying them not choose. So if you don't choose, he's killing both in front of you. No right answer. You're dead anyway. Mentally, you're dead. After so we can all go. I would not want to live after that. Love and respect, SouFlo. That's what I'm saying. At the end of all that, I would choose this. She would choose that. We came to the conclusion that there was no good choices here. No right choices. Anyway, how do you choose between your children? How do you choose between your children? Even parents who have favorite children, because some parents who have multiple children, right, them end up having a favorite. But you can't even say, you know, your favorite could be that son who always, yes, daddy, want to do everything for you, want to go everywhere, and he's just so endeared to you. It could be your firstborn, it could be your whatever, but every child holds their special place, even though you start to develop like, you know, a certain kind. So you have to balance the thing out. Even in real life, just raising children, it could be like that. But when a gun is put to your head and you have to choose one and death is the result, there is no right answer. I know I couldn't watch both my kids die, but the option is to choose one. And if I don't choose, both go. So in my mind, I have to choose. I have to choose. Some people say I'm not choosing. Accounts Clark says not choosing. Sorry. Well, then your option would be to watch two of your children die right in front of you because you didn't choose one. And then I think after that happened, you would be like, damn, I could have saved one of them. I could have at least saved one. You know? It would have been like, I could have at least saved one. Because that's what it's about. Saving a life. And in a situation where, you know, that's the choice, you have to go with, it's a dirty choice. I'm trying to keep my words clean. I was going to say it's a choice, but it's a dirty choice. Yes, take me is not an option. Take me, there's no option for take me. You're going to get let go regardless. They're just holding you like this because they want you to watch it happen. We would have to fight. We would have to fight that out. You can't fight. How are you going to fight? You're already in grips. How are you going to fight? Gun already at your head. You are, the scene that we were watching, she couldn't get out of that. She couldn't get out of that. It was choose. Save one and give him or her guilty love. That's how I see it. But there are no right choices. So nobody don't leave here feeling guilty. Say, Jesus Christ, but just really say me would I choose my son. You know, do I really love him more than me love my daughter? I can't believe this. What kind of choice that would I make? Don't go away feeling guilty. There is no right choice to this. All right, I guess I'm there with it. Anyhow, let's not beat that one to death. Let's I see the choices. Some people non-choose. Some people say them are gonna fight it out. That's not an option. You're gonna watch both of them die. All that. Let's move on. So yesterday, a video went viral of a little youth, and the little youth says he wants to be a gunman. But the amount of drama that came after this little youth video went viral, I believe even child services in Jamaica put out in the papers that they are now trying to locate the family or trying to locate this little boy because him say he want to be a gunman. All right, now play the clip and then we're going to talk about the clip. The first thing when I saw the clip was I said, which part in Jamaica he comes from? Where does he live? Remember we talked about that yesterday? We talked about life and how some of us grew up versus how some of us grew up. Yeah, where we were raised at and what kind of childhood we had and all that. Did y'all see that video? Well, all right. I might give you a glimpse of his face, but I don't really want to show his face. I know a lot of y'all probably seen it already, but it's a child and I don't want to pass his face. You know what? I'm not going to show his face. Just no, sir. The little youth did I talk.
Where you go up? Where you want to be?
Look, look.
You can't be a good man. No.
What do you mean?
No, but okay.
You can't tell me what people brother.
No.
You can't tell me what people brother.
No, brother. Look.
T-Cat.
See how much? Where you go up? Where you want to be? Look up and be.
Good man.
No, brother.
You mean? Kill police on TV.
You can't be a good man.
What do you mean?
No, but okay.
You can't tell me what people brother.
No.
You can't tell me what people brother.
No, brother. Look.
All right, so I'm watching the comments of people, right? Not on this right here. I'm watching the comments of people on the original post, and on the original post, it's like people are saying all kinds of things like, "Wow, why did those adults around him find it so funny that they're laughing? That I don't see nothing funny in that. Me wouldn't laugh, right?" Listen, that little boy was talking in a comedic fashion, first of all. If you listen to or you watch Border Cat, at the same way Border Cat would have talk when would have said, "Gunman, where you want to be when you grow up? Gunman." No, but you can't be no gunman. Then I hear see people saying, why didn't somebody tell him that, you know, that's wrong and he shouldn't be that? Obviously, you hear the guy in the background saying, no, come here. You can't be a gunman, brother. So somebody was telling him that him can't be a gunman. Don't do it. You can't do that. And he said, but you can't tell him said, let go off of me. But you can't tell me what to be, brother. Me I be when me want be. That sounds just like Border Cat to me. But you can't tell me what to be, brother. Me I be when me want be. So it's comedic at one sense. And remember, you know, we take serious thing make joke. Because although we're going to drip him and say, come here, you really want to be gunman? You can't be gunman. You have better choices than that. Somebody are going to drip him and tell him that. But in the moment when it happened, it might seem inappropriate to others that people laugh. But if me did it and I'm there having a drink chilling and that's what I heard come out his mouth, I probably would have laughed out first too, spit out my drinks, laugh. But then I would have said, you know, after, like, no, come here for real. A joke, you did a joke, or you really say you want to be gunman. And if him say, no man, a little joke me did I tell. So a little small video like that can go a long way. We don't know where the video went after that. In the moment of talking foolishness, that video was filmed and put out to the world. I have a problem with Jamaica again. There is a pastor, and they plastered it all over front page of every major news network yesterday. There's a pastor who has now turned himself in. So this little girl got raped, and she went and she told the police she get raped. Them went, carry her, go doctor, check her out, everything. Then they wanted to find the pastor after. All right. They were on the lookout for the pastor. Them go M yard, them go Sunday service, them go everywhere. They can't find him. Pastor went on the run. Here you have A man that is on the run for raping a little girl, and you out here telling us on front page, this pastor, be on the lookout for him. He is missing. We would like for him to come out and show himself and speak to us and this and where's his face? Where is his face? How am I supposed to help as a normal citizen who is not from that community, don't know him, but I see on headline that he just raped a little girl who went to him for help? Because in some places, that's exactly how it is still. Trouble tech people, them not go counselor and psychiatrists and therapists, or rich people, something them that they go to pastor. So this little girl, obviously troubled by something, went to pastor. She said, pastor rape her on church grounds. She went and tell police, I'm looking for him. I'm helping you look for him. Put him face on the TV. Put his face on the front page. No face. This little boy said him want to be gunman. Front page. With the little boy face and everything. Child Services is reaching out now, trying to find his family, trying to locate him and all that. I'm like, chill out. Really and truly chill out. Okay? And like I said, if you put things in context, that video that was posted was less than 30 seconds long. So you know when you talk, I talk foolishness for joke's sake. God man, or you can't tell me what to be, brother. Me I be where me want to be. We don't know what 5 minutes after the little youth say, but it's so them think. You can't change them mind. No means me not say me personally want to be gunman, but me I say I saw the youth them who want to be gunman actually think. I tell you what, I've spoken to some, and that is exactly what they think, and that is exactly how they will tell you it. But I don't feel like they needed to put his face on front page. I don't feel like, but he was already out there on a viral video, you know, but it's a child still. So me I do my part by not putting his face up. Because you know, people can be cruel. And even some people who swear that they're Bible thumpers and holier than thou art, they will go at this little child in the wrong way. Now you say, oh, I'm the gunman, come here. And him have to go explain to everybody that he see. Like, a joke me did I make, or no, me did I tell them, say, I saw the youth, them who want be gunman act, or I saw them say, you don't know the other, you know, the full context of the conversation they were having. I don't like the youth come out and say, me swear to God, me I be gunman. Me not joking, me serious, me dead serious, but I think they put way so much into that. But at the end of the day, that mentality is real. You know what I'm saying? That mentality is real. I see a lot of people saying, you don't know what that little boy witnessed. He probably witnessed some form of police brutality against some family member and him feel like, say, but the little boy say, you know, say a gunman kill police on TV the other day, brother. That means him no want to be no police because gunman can kill police. He wants to be the greater of. And he's seeing gunmen as being more powerful than police. So why aspire to be a police? You see it. You see it. Why aspire to be a police? Him say it. Him say, me say, no gunman, me see kill police on TV the other day, brother. So all he's aspiring to be is the stronger of the two. A little, all the youth that need is a little. As long as he have his people around him and all that. I'm waiting for more to come out. I want to hear when, because they already plastered him all over the place. So now I want to hear when Child Services go find him, what condition they found him living in. His mother and father, that he's from a good home, and they just up the street. Because you see in the background somebody at work on a house, and was he some Lego picnic that's out a road and man start videotape him? That's another thing I don't do and can't do. Put my camera on people's children without the consent of the parent. So was that his dad there? And him and him uncle them a whole of vibes, and you know, you don't know the context of the whole story. Goes to show the influence TV have on our kids. That's what Kamar Henry says. Goes to show the influence that TV has on our kids. It goes to show, I'm gonna say it goes to show how social media dictates. Because honestly, if a youth said that, Ain't no child services coming to look for you. Enough you with me here, so them want to be gunman. Them want to be scammer. Them want to be this. Them want to be that. Cause scammer me see with the big car, them and the pretty girl, them. I buy out bar and live fancy life and these things, build big house up on the hill. You know, and children are right. Children are influenced by their surroundings. It's their environment, what they grow up seeing, how they grow up. You know, me grew up as a gunman. Me grew up as a drug dealers. I grew up seeing people having a lot of stuff at a young age, but I had a strong family. So even though I saw all that, I knew that, you know what, me not gonna route that. That's not my route. Because me know the end result for that route already. That kind of thing. I had people to put that in me daily. You know what I'm gonna route there? See that? You see how him mash up? Look on him. Him go in straight, him get 5 years, him come out and walk like Susie. Don't do it. That kind of stuff. So I wasn't turned on by the idea of being gunman or anything like that. If anything, I wanted to be like my father was. My father is JDF, retired now. My grandfather is JCF, which is his father, full career, retired now, that kind of stuff. And I want to follow in their footsteps. So it's all about influence and what's around. You know what I'm saying? What's around the children while they're growing up. But me not take that little video that too serious. Social media make we take things out of context sometimes. You hear 30 seconds of a conversation. That whole conversation probably was more than an hour long. We saw 30 seconds of it. And then we want to judge the whole country and the government and the people and the parents and the society. And people are going to say what they want to say. People are going to say what they want to say. But use that for anything that goes on. You see 30 seconds of something doesn't mean you know the whole scope of it, right? They wouldn't give a damn. They're so reactive. We are so reactive, not proactive, reactive. Oh, I'm saying one big gunman. Social media is all over it, so we have to do something. Send child services, go look for him, locate his family. To do what? To tell him, say, you know you don't want to be a gunman, right? Okay, his parents can do that. You think child services, what am I do? Take him away from his parents? And do I put him in a system where so many other kids get abused and molested and victimized and run away from and go turn street kids instead because they would rather be like what's that for? What's that going to do? You know? But do a wellness check. Do a wellness check. I agree with that. Do a wellness check. I see kids in the US waving guns around on TV. Matter of fact, I'm about to do a video about a youth that I was following for quite a few years. Because the first time he appeared on YouTube with guns, and he was like 7 or 8 or them kind of age, then 9 years old. And you know, you could tell he was real hardened at that age with his ideas of street life and he ended up. I'm gonna do a video on him. So all that ain't necessary. But nobody did a wellness check on that youth that I'm talking about. And he grew up to be exactly that. And then his end, or the end of his story, because his story ended, is something you have to see the video. You know what I'm saying? Nobody did a wellness check. So go on, do a wellness check on him, but leave it right there. So it's, if you find anything after the wellness check now, deal with that. I don't think that youth is lost. The little youth look well cared for. I don't think him lost. I don't think him. I just saw it talk sometime, and people take it out of context. And worse, social media make you take everything out of context. If you don't get the whole story, you feel like 2 seconds of a story or 30 seconds of a 1 hour conversation is it. Bro Shaka, thank you, man. I appreciate you greatly. Bro Shaka said, bless up SouFlo and brains. I don't know if y'all saw the video. Come on, Henry. Thank you. I appreciate you. Beverly Smith says, we have created this environment of crime and violence in Jamaica, and children have been affected and traumatized by the violence. The child wants to protect his people from this violence. Pretty much. We have continued the violence, or this environment of crime and violence. We have continued it, And we've gotten to a point now where it's glorified to somewhat within our society. It looks appealing to some young youth to be a gunman. It looks appealing to some youth to be somebody who don't have to answer to nobody. You really don't obey no laws. Nobody can tell me nothing. Yeah, chop me a chop and me have whole heap of money. So what you can tell me and this and that, and that attitude, that loose freedom, careless freedom, it feels attractive to the youth then. You know, I'm supposed to review this Vibes Cartel song, and in the song he said every teacher should have a car with a Benz with press button. So the youths them know the education are the key. What he was trying to say really is the teachers should be the children's biggest example of what to be. I said this before, you know, we send our children to school. If you check time, your children spend more time with a teacher than they do with you. Those are your children, but you send them somewhere every day for somebody to mold their brain. That's what school is, right? But when the child goes, the child sees Miss Jones, my favorite math teacher, fear car broke down almost every day. She drive a putt-putt. She can barely get by. You can tell she's struggling also. She lives somewhere close to the neighborhood that I live, so I know where she lives. Fear house don't look grandiose. It don't look anything fancy. It don't even look like I would want to live there. Because my grandparents, them house where me live look way better than that. So I now aspire for that not look rich. That not look interesting to be. That look like she still a struggle. She just have a career or a steady job. That, and as you grow older, that's what they think. You know what I'm saying? So to make it attractive for them, how about the teachers be put at the forefront? Think of the responsibility of a teacher. That responsibility is highly overlooked. You know what I'm saying? So if they were compensated more and they were able to be looked at in a different light, and you go look up a teacher salary, because you know we live in the world of computer today, so you can look up everything. We don't have to guess no more. I wonder how much a math teacher make. No, you could go look it up. Look up them salary and you see it. Not God, but what kind of money that? What kind of money that? Then by the time me pay for this, pay for that, pay them the bills there, me broke. Me don't have nothing left. Me don't want that. I don't want that as a career. Worse, for go school for how long to get degree and certification and all these things. No, sir. That's all like me not going to be able to pay back that loan there for how many years that I had to borrow in the first place to go. Because people have never really have no money to send me. So they're looking for something more attractive, and that's just how it goes. If you hear some of these youths talk though, I don't think that youth was serious. I think that was said in joke, in jest. And we say we take serious thing make joke. I say it all the time. But I have heard them say that and they were dead serious about it. I've been around long enough to watch some who chose that and talk to them in life, to watch them live out that life and die, right? Or watch them live out that life and do time. I have a friend right now that's doing, he got 45 years. He got 45 years here in Florida, and he's a Jamaican youth. And he got 45 years about 20 years ago. See? About 20 years ago and get 45 years. And I'm thinking, look at my life in the 20-year span. And all that he has missed out on. I mean, I've had children. I'm now a father of 6 children. I'm watching my daughter walk and grow and this and that. And I'm doing this and that. And him lock up 20 years gone in a U.S. prison. And him have 25 more to go. So I've seen it. I've seen the whole, some when them say them serious and this me I do, commit to the badness, they actually really do it. Some reason I don't think that little youth was that though. But yes, go do a wellness check on him. Big up to the teachers out there. I big up everybody, but I said people going out to work and coming in from work. So you're included. But I understand the levels that a teacher respect should be at. And it's not. It's far from it. It's far from it. So the children don't aspire to be like teacher, who they see every day and spend most of the day with. Right? Samari Karen says teacher's salary isn't good at all and life is always in danger with these children that they teach. Yeah, teaching environment has become hostile over the years. Once they took, I think once they took corporal punishment out of school, and then once guns became so accessible, because some of these youths, you raise your hand about you old school and you about to hit them, you about to get shot after school. No man sharp, you get shot in a school. The youths them nowadays, they'll actually fight the teacher until them see them out of school, then them fling big stone, lick them down and stab them up or shoot them out the road. But they would fight them in school. We've seen mad videos of this, many videos of this. So the teaching environment itself is hostile. You don't know what kind of abused child is coming to you that has all these triggers and stuff. And you have to spend time with everybody picnic every day while they go off to earn a living or sit at home doing nothing or run a business, whatever they do. You have their kids. And a lot of kids are going through hell at home under the quiet. And they take the rage out on the teacher, because this is who I'm spending the next how many hours for the day with, the greater part of the day with. Teacher, did they try to instill discipline? Shh, stop. Shh. And the picnic over there talk about, shh, stop. Shh, shh. Stop for what, miss? Miss, what may I say? Stop for what? Shh, what? You know? Come out and go to the principal office. What principal are going to do? Principal say, oh, you're misbehaving again, blah, blah, blah. All right, next thing, boy and principal start fight. Big thump and kick. Principal, I've seen these videos when principal are trying to defend himself, like he has to like fight this youth like a man. And the youth are swing big thump. So they deserve so much more. Teachers do. But how about making them an example for the children to follow? Then you would have heard the children them say, I want to be a teacher. I want to be just like Miss So-and-so, my first grade teacher, my maths teacher, my English teacher. But they don't see hope in that. Look up the teacher salary. It's not attractive. See which part the teacher live. Me want to elevate above that. I know she me see a shine. She don't look like nothing at two one. Yeah? Society do not value our teachers at all, Pauline Graham, at all. And I have a couple of my mom was a teacher, and I got a couple of family members now that are teachers. Some of them came over on programs from Jamaica, and they would work here as teachers, but when holidays and all that other stuff come, they had to go back to Jamaica. So they were on these programs. So even the US recruits teachers out of Jamaica. But this is for teachers everywhere. See, this is for teachers everywhere. Highly used, grossly underpaid. For a job like that, right now in today's day, that's why most of the teachers today, they just look at it like I'm getting that check. Like, hell man, I went to school for this. And money done spent already. This my degree, this my field. I would love to be the perfect kind of teacher, but here what? I've tried and my hands are tied, can't do much, so I'm just coming to do my work. If you learn, you learn. If you don't learn, you don't learn. And your business that. All right, everybody got it? Wipe off the board. On to the next one. Nobody can say, hello, miss, mom, sorry, I didn't understand that, because the teacher don't care anymore. The teachers have been abused for so long, they themselves don't care anymore. Very few teachers you meet that actually really, really do care and pour themselves into their children. When I first came to the US, short story real quick before we go on to the other topic. When I first came to the US, a couple of years after, as I began to grow, moving towards teenagehood, I started getting involved with weird people. I would put it that way. Let's just say weird people. And it's my English teacher that draped me up. And it was an old lady, an old white lady. I'm sure she's dead now, because back then I was a youth picnic, and she was looking like she was in her 60s, probably 70s. She looked like she in her 80s, yeah, man. She looked well old. But she draped me up and she said, hey, come here. I just came back you're from Jamaica, right? And I said, yes. And she said, I just came back from Jamaica, and you're being like she was saying, you're being an embarrassment, because I've been around your people, and they're about education and they're about progress and they're about getting an opportunity and using it. I saw the woman talk to me, you know, and you see that one part there where she said, like, I'm embarrassing my country, my people, and she just got back from Jamaica. And that kind of did drape my soul a kind of way. Could I tell you, I graduated with honors English. I made a complete turnaround. But how many of those teachers are around still? There are some, but not all teachers. A lot of these teachers now just go to work just to go to work because of them job that now. And if you pick no want to learn, they pick no learn. If them don't want to learn, now your business that, right? Teachers have it bad. Parents, by the time them come home, them tired, them half of us don't even understand half of what our kids are studying in school or are being taught. Me see some maths problem that they're giving my 13-year-old, and I'm like, is this like trigonometry or something? Because me not get this. And I'm supposed to be able to help him with his stuff. You see what I'm saying? So teachers have a great responsibility. Half of the time, the parents can't even help the kid. Sometimes your teachers can see the type of child you are. Yes, because they spend the whole day with a child is like putty, okay? And that child is easily molded, squeezed and molded, squeezed and molded. It's how the child is molded, the results we're going to get later on. So you want to hope that your child is among one of those teachers that can grab them and, you know what, grab that little putty there and say, okay, look, I see it in this child. I see the potential. I see this, but he's going the wrong way. So come here, listen, listen. Because sometimes you might not, your parents don't know what you're doing. Half of us was doing things that we don't. Nobody does foolishness in front of their parents, especially if you have like disciplined parents. It doesn't mean you don't do foolishness. Is in school you start to play a class clown. Is in school you start to slack off on the work. She a teach maths, me a draw, cause draw me one draw. Me a pass, I'm writing notes and passing it to girls in the class. Yo, son, pass this forward, pass it forward, pass it to Keisha in the front. Pass it up. Pass my note up. Being disruptive, all that stuff, and thinking you're cool. And as a teacher, I have to draw you up, right? Nowadays, them teachers, they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Draw up who? Half of these kids want to fight. You lying, I wasn't doing nothing. Why you always telling on me? You always picking on me, like argue back and all that. When me I go to school, them used to beat me. Okay? And when me I go to school, you get drip and you take that drip. You not hitting back nobody. I used to think that wasn't even a thought to hit a teacher. Oh no. That wasn't even a thought. That was like me thinking I could really hit my grandmother when she done beat me. Like, I used to think she would like appear in my dream. Wake me up and beat me just for that dream there. So it wasn't even a thought. Nowadays, it's an option. Fight the teacher. We said give the teachers them a proper salary. Yes, bro, Shaka. They need it. They need it. I feel for them. D-Max says, without teachers, there would be no specialists or professionals nor experts. Big up the teachers, enough respect. Wow. Without teachers, there would be no specialists, no professionals, no experts. Let that sink in. D-Mac, thank you for that one. Intricate part of society they are. And highly overworked and grossly underpaid they are. And grossly underappreciated. Or highly wherever you want to put it. Highly underappreciated, grossly underappreciated. That's what it is. But I hope they find that little boy. Just to do a wellness check. Just find him. But I don't think that was necessary. But since they're on it, and then put it in a front page already, go through with it. But let this not be just for him. Since y'all are going to monitor like that, let this not be just for him. Let this be for every time you see something like this, go do a wellness check. Because we've seen this before. Not because the video went viral, jump on it, oh, we got to find him, look like we're doing something. Go find the one them where their video don't go viral too, because I know y'all hear the talk all the time. And these people that work at the child services and all that, remember, they are regular Jamaican people as well. So they know the beginning, the end, and the middle as well. Them live the same life where we live. So they know. I could see them going over there right now. I don't know why they must send me go over here. So look how much of the youth them out there talk about them want to be gunman. Imagine if we were to go to every house of every picnic and say them want to be gunman. All right, so since them want to play it up, come we could go. Come we could go find them and go. That's all it is. That's all it is. Nadine Wilson says, sir, parents disrespect teachers, so the kids follow the same. Yeah, that's true too. That's true too. I've seen parents go to the school and fight the teacher. And it's for nothing. It's for nothing, nothing big. Nothing big. Like if a teacher put their hands on my children though, I would probably be one of them that go to the school and act like I'm there for a meeting and be all nice and cordial and well dressed and well spoken and then haul off and broke somebody's job because you're not beating my kid. But you can call me though, and I will be one of those parents that'll show up, and I might even bust his ass in front of everybody that's here. But I don't give you the authority to beat him. Cause I don't know what kind of rage you in today. Your man never come home last night. You vex. Next thing you want to beat my picnic all over his body and everything because he was talking when you said didn't talk. That kind of stuff. So I'm glad that they did take corporal punishment out of schools. But I also see where it went left. It went left, Carl. When me I go to school, that's one of the things that kept us in line. Because remember, I know we were like free-range chicken. You see, y'all ever seen free-range chickens versus a chicken or chickens that are cooped up? I was raised like a free-range chicken. So I'm free, my spirit free. That means I needed to be contained. I needed to be guided. Because when school done, me run guys. I'm all over the place. I told y'all yesterday, through the banana walk, down in the coffee piece. You know, I'm doing all kinds of weird stuff. Just exploring my environment, being allowed to grow. So when I got to the classroom, I would be wild up like that same way. Needed that structure. So it was good for back then. It was good for back then. And shout out to Miss Smith. Anybody that went to Moreva Primary School, remember Miss Smith used to stand up on the desk and beat you over your back. Yeah? With our cane over your back. You get one of them there. And that's how they taught you how you can't pronounce the word. Read that line again. I should up yourself. And you're reading the line, but you want to piss yourself because you know so you can't pronounce the word. You're breaking down syllables in your mind, you're piecing together. You get to the word, stutter too long. Jesus Christ, because it was your homework to do. And that tell her say you didn't do homework and these kind of things, yeah? But I'm glad it came out of the school. Yeah, Ghost is saying contradiction. That's life. Life is contradictory. Some people are so afraid to be like 100% real because they have to be either this way or either that way or 100% with this idea or 100% with this idea. That's not me. That's not me. Beating, what we call ass whipping, that used to be very necessary for some of us. And a lot of we can tell us, boy, it didn't help because me think me that got turn a thief. And at one time, I probably thought I was also going to turn a gunman. Me actually want to kill people enough. I wanted, real talk, I wanted to kill people. And I wanted to kill people for money. Because I was looking at ways to be financially wealthy. Now think about this chain of thought. Me sitting here today saying this to you. That thought followed me for many years. How do you think me end up in that army? Is a dread grabbed me up in Brooklyn and we were talking and the dread said, because you know you got 5%ers out there, gangbangers, whoever is crip, this, that, and they're talking about, yo, the dread is saying, listen, the military comes through here, they can have all you guys in a concentration camp less than 24 hours. Round up everything. And the older guys were there talking about, round up what? Round up what? Yo, we busting off everything around here. I'm talking guns out. And the dread is trying to explain, like, if a tank rolls down the street right now, breaking up the asphalt, rolling through. How are you going to stop it? He said if the helicopter starts hovering right above these buildings and you see soldiers fast roping coming down, or you see airborne soldiers coming through, how are you going to stop all that? And I thought about it. He said, I know how to do it. I said, really? And he said, yes. He had just come back from a tour of duty. I said, I want to learn how to do all that too, right? I felt like I needed to be prepared for whatever comes in life. So I'm thinking, well, damn, if me want to go kill people, I don't want to be in prison and somebody I tell me about bend over boy or spread them or none of that. So why not do it in a uniform where I'm protected under their laws? I'm doing it for them. Or I'm going to go learn everything that a professional killer knows. I just channeled that in a different direction. I could have been out here doing, but I wouldn't be well trained. I wouldn't know what the hell I was doing other than you bust a gun upon somebody and collect some money. So I went the army route. And then that developed into other things, of course, right? So yeah, some of them youth here, they're real serious about that's what they're going to be. That's what they're going to be. Big up to the teachers, man. You can't save everybody. And a lot of teachers are feeling defeated. A lot of teachers are leaving Jamaica. I saw a post the other day on, I believe it was the Observer, that said the pandemic actually helped Jamaica because it stopped, or the pandemic not helped Jamaica, but it stopped a lot of teachers from migrating, from leaving, because a lot of them were set to leave at that time when that hit. Remember, the US, Canada, UK, all these places, they're coming to our islands and taking our teachers, providing better opportunities for them, offering them better things. Not only the teachers, the nurses as well, they're going in boatloads. The doctors are shipping out, yeah, and so on. So I saw it go. Anyhow, broader conversation. The last one I wanted to talk about was a lot of black women would have turned out much differently had their mothers loved them more when they were girls. That's the post that I saw yesterday. My audience is kind of finicky and funny, and you can't really tell the ladies anything because them jump in and say, well, if you're going to say that most black women would have turned out much differently I'm reading from my board, much differently if their mothers had loved them. I can say the same thing about men too. Like, you know, you can't tell sister nothing, and she got dry in the other side as well. So it was a narrow conversation that I chose to broaden. So I'm going to broaden the conversation and say a lot of people would have turned out much differently had their mothers loved them more when they were children. And then we're going to discuss how that would have been different, or how that would have made a difference for black men versus black women. All right. This might get a little bit triggery. So if you're triggered, then please take a sip of water or take a deep breath, relax. Let's go through this experience together. How do you define love? Good question, Beverly Smith. I define love, we probably all define love differently, but I define love as in now we're talking about love from parent to child love, because that's the topic, right? So I define that love, parent to child, as providing and protecting and respecting, like that. Providing, protecting, and respecting. That's it. Providing, protecting, and respecting. You're going to provide for that child. You're going to respect that child. You're going to respect that that child is an individual. That child is not a machine that does what you say every time you say and only what you say, and right. So you're going to respect that child. You're going to protect that child, and you're going to provide for that child. Now, of course, we know we can break that all the way down to some people can't provide much material-wise, but they're more loving than households that have all the material riches and the child is dying inside in that wealthy family same way. So respect, provide, and protect. That's how I define that love. Now, Joy Turner says, that was a good question. That was a good question. What Joy Turner says, Beverly says, providing, protecting, and respecting. Beverly Smith, yes, indeed. Joy Turner says, most mothers love their children. They were or are just having a hard time supporting them. And this is where the conversation gets deep. And this is where the conversation gets offensive to some, because some don't want to hear the truth. It's not okay to just say, I love my kids, right? I know far too many sisters who, you are mothers, and you say you love your kid, but your actions, or your children, but your actions show very differently. And they get caught up in saying that they love them. Like, I tell my kids I love them all the time, every day. That's okay, but are you doing the love part? Are you patient with your children? Are you box them well like fly, just so you can spend time on your phone more, on your Instagram, or talk to your girlfriend more, or do what you want to do into your life more? Do they have your attention? Do they get your undivided attention at any point? Do you reserve time to sit with them? Now, you know what people are going to say this. Yeah, but what if she's working hard on 2 jobs and whatever? If she work hard on 2 jobs and whatever, enough of them still find time for man. Them find time to squeeze a man in there and a relationship, right? That means that you have time for your picnic. I'm talking about reserving 1 hour out of a day, every day, for your child. This is uninterrupted time with your child. You communicating with your child at your child's level. That is love. That is nurturing, like somebody just said. Who's that? Davia Davidson. Or yes, Davia Davidson. Thank you. Nurturing. Are you nurturing the child? Because if nurturing ain't going on, then that I love you, or I love my kids, I'm a very good mom, but then you're like, go over there, or go around there, or go do something, or find something to do, or get away from around me, or and you're looking at the reasons why you're telling them to go over there, go ahead, go look over, find something to do. Stop the knives. Self-absorbed so much you ignore your child. So you have to nurture. You got to nurture. See? So with that defined as nurture, let's say broader conversation, because the original was many women, black women, would have turned out much differently had their mothers, let's use nurtured them instead of love, differently had their mothers nurtured them when they were girls or when they were younger. We could say the same thing too for guys and their dads. Sometimes the parents them don't know no better. And they're loving as ever and they just don't know any better. You have parents that don't know how to show love because they were never actually shown love. They were told, I love you, but they were told I love you by people that abused them as well. So they're confused about what this love is. They know they don't really want to abuse their children because they didn't like the abuse, but the best they can do is say, I love you too. I love you at the most. Some don't even know how to say I love you. So some people grow up never even hearing I love you, right? So there's so many dynamics to it. But I think that could be a broader conversation. A lot of people would have turned out much better had their mothers nurtured them when they were younger. There wasn't that mommy didn't love you. Like someone said, yeah, she probably had worked too much, and some of them come from single parents' homes, so she had to juggle and hustle and make sure everything. She didn't have time for she had time though. There's always time. There's always time. You got to make time. People make time for what's most important to them, right? People make time for what's important to them. If you're going to sit down and watch a movie or watch TV for hours, then you have time. If you're going to be on your phone or your gadgets for hours, then you have time. If you're going to go hang out with the homegirls and say, yeah, I just need some time to breeze out, you have time. If you're going to squeeze a relationship in there and go out, go see so and so every now and then, even if you're not bringing them home to the kids, you had time. You know? Queenie Morris says, I have never heard I love you from any of my parents, but I knew I was loved. See what I'm saying? Now, how did you know that you were loved, Queenie Morris? Says she has never heard I love you from any of her parents, but she knew she was loved. Now, think about that. Think about that. Somebody who tells you they love you all the time don't necessarily really love you, you know. We just like to hear what sounds good, though. So if somebody are telling, well, if them are telling me all the time, so them love me, them must love me for true. Mother and father both are critical in the question. That's very true, and there's a balance. To some degree, things get divided, though. Like, for instance, well, in my book, anyways, I don't want to be a totalitarian. You can have your own opinions or whatever, but yes, mother and father are equally in that balance. But to some degree, when you start talking about man versus or male versus female, then you have to start talking about mother to daughter as father to son. You know, we've seen it a lot. Like father leaves the house, abandons his family, never comes back. Mommy has a hard time raising those boys, right? She don't know what the hell to tell them, especially when they start hitting teenage years. Now, had daddy handled his responsibility, even if him and mommy work together, but still be present in the kid's life, then he could guide these boys through, because he's been down that road. She has never been a little boy that grew into a teenage boy that is now transferring over into being a man, a young man. She has never done that. She has, and I don't care how she tried. That's like me trying. I have never been a little girl that transferred over into, you know, teenagehood, and then now I'm getting ready to be a young woman. I don't know that walk. I don't know that journey. I don't know the experiences that go along that way. See? So at some point, it gets split now, mommy and daddy, or mommy over here with the girl, daddy over here with the boys. Right. It's the same reason why if you leave a little boy around all women and just be a woman raise him, there's issues. There's issues. Y'all say it all the time. You all say it all the time. You could see that the overly emotional, the some even take on like the feminine mannerisms of, because that's what's around them. Long ago, I had a little cousin, and I had a family that had 5 females in it, and the 5 females lived in one house, and one of them had a baby, and it was that my little cousin. And I was away for a while, but when I came through, I realized that, you know, that the house was jovial. Them used to always have like them little party, and you know, nothing bad. It's just music playing and they're dancing. They were very creative people and all that stuff. So go over there one day and I seen a little boy dancing on his head. Like, you know, the dancehall girl, them dirty wine and then wine and go down and put their head on the ground, leg, feet up on the wall and wind up themselves upside down. So I saw him doing that. And I said, okay, I'm gonna start take him away from the house. And I did. I started to take him out the house as much as possible. I started to go over there more and take him out the house as much as possible. Right? Because I felt like that was needed. They even go as far as to like paint his nails. Cause everybody in here getting their nails painted. Them have nail paint party. I don't know. Everybody sitting around watching movies and doing fingernails and talking. and girl, and he's there learning all that. So me go and then fingernail them. It was his toenails. I went and I seen his toenails painted another time, and I was like, rotted. So I have to start taking him out of this, and I did. His dad wasn't around, so I started taking him away from that as much as I could, right, to influence him in another direction. So yeah, at some point it gets to be daddy and the sons, mommy and the daughters. So the question is very valid. A lot of women, actually black women, I'm talking because I'm a black man, but if you're not black, then you can still apply yourself to this. A lot of women, black women, would have turned out much differently had their mothers nurtured them more when they were girls. I think the same thing for men. A lot of men would have turned out much differently if they had a good father that nurtured them, loved them more when they were. You see, our boys, them not get hugs like that, you know. It's not within our culture. They hug up them and squeeze them all the time and tell them I love you like that and really mean it, you know, and then be compassionate and be patient with them. Boys are kind of raised like, hey, come here. Go over there, so pick up the something and can't go over there, so go put it down. And you know, like the roughness, and even if they don't speak raw patois, is always rough how they're dealt with. And you have moms that are like, man, I'm growing no soft boy, so I toughen him up. So he's getting tough from all angles. He's getting tough from all angles. I tell my wife, you don't need to be tough with my son. Be mommy. Be the soft one. Be the, you know, the one that he can come for help him cool it down after me, blaze it up. That kind of stuff. So, but I still understand my balance. I still understand my balance. So I make sure that the love is there as far as talk to them. Yeah. Figure out what it is they're doing. Like start from early. Or if them big already, can still do that. Talk to them. Be loving to them. Spend time with them. Hug them. Tell them you love. Enough of them didn't even get a hug. Had never got a hug. My dad has never hugged me. Just like the person who just said, I never heard I love you from any of my parents, but I knew I was loved. Well, not everybody took it that way. A lot of these kids are saying, I never got a I love you from any of my parents. I'm not really too sure if them love me still, but you know, them provide, you know, they provided for me. I guess that's the love. But they still were lacking that, what should I say, emotional bond and connection that is very necessary for people to function in society as loving people. That's why some of you cold, so never get a hug yet from daddy or mommy. Vex and cold and callous. And they turn into vex, cold, and callous men. They don't necessarily have to be a killer or that extreme, but it affects the relationship. It affects the relationship, every facet of life. It affects how they treat their children when they finally have children or get children. It affects how they treat the woman that they're with, that's giving them these children, whether she become wifey or is a baby mother. It affects like all those dynamics. See? So yeah, to that, it's both ways. It's both ways. Sisters don't like hear the truth though. Not sisters stay a certain kind of way because they were told a bunch of foolishness and they weren't nurtured. Big up to the one them who actually had. You had grandma around and you had mommy around. Mommy and grandma was tight. You see them kind of family there. Mommy and grandma was tight and everybody she had to answer to. So you know she come up on that good regime. Yeah. And the people have them principles and them, hey, come here. What's this? And grandma jump in and mommy the pan it, and you know, they didn't get all that. That was the undivided attention that I'm talking about. Not that they provided for you, not that they told you I love you in words. Did they nurture you? Did they sit you down and tell you about the world? Did they sit you down and tell you what to expect and how to handle it when it comes and that kind of stuff? Did they make you feel like you could tell them anything? that way. And then you have callous women who come from that. They weren't nurtured. They were brought up, but they weren't nurtured. See? And it affects them as well. When you get into a relationship with one of these kinds of women, it's the same result. You just get a callous woman. On any level. It's not just man-woman relationship like lovers. I'm talking about friendship. I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? It affects all facets of their life. So the end consensus of that conversation is that yes, many sisters would have turned out much differently had their moms loved them more. They wouldn't have went looking for love in all the wrong places. They would have valued their self more. You know, when you give it a little something that you can't get it back, when you start with the big V word and then you lose it, you're lost. It's lost forever. Half of them would have taken it back right now if they could, especially to who they gave it to, that kind of stuff, you know? So you never get the conversation. You never get they never stayed on top of it. All them probably tell you is, nobody gonna take no man, you know? I mean, why you coming out with no belly? That's about it. You ever talk to them and say, yo, sex sweet, you know? Yeah, sex sweet. How do you think all of you got here? It's sweet, man. We do it all the time. And I say about 10 I may have. Them kind of something about here one. You see, when that happens in your life, everything stops. Okay? This is what's gonna happen with you. Let me walk you down the road for real. Me, with my son, I walk him down the road. I can't go to a grocery store. I take stuff off the shelf and I'm multiplying, adding and dividing, and I'm saying, you see this? You see this? Keep counting. Keep counting. Wife is send the list. Baby needs milk, blah, blah, blah. I'm in there with my phone. All right, go ahead. Let's still take up them. And I say, you see how much one of these costs? All right, $8. 8 times 5, 40. All right, put that in the cart. Come over here, blah, blah, blah. I walk them through and I let them know, yo, girls, you're going to fall in love. You know what I mean? You're going to fall in love and you're going to be like, oh, I'm so romantic and whatever. Don't stick your pickle in and become a daddy before you have anything established for yourself, because you have just signed up for extended stay at Poverty Hotel. Don't look at me, because I'm instilling everything in you right now to make sure that this doesn't happen. So if you choose this, I'll be here to back you, but I'm not going to be paying your bills and supporting you, right? You're going to have to walk that road, and I'm going to make you walk that road if you make that choice. Talk to them for real, into the intricate details of it. Anybody who used to tell we about don't have sex enough, not until you're a certain age, that don't work. We all know that don't work. But don't let the conversation end there. That's nurturing. Don't let the conversation end there. Go into details. Because a child is curious. Okay, from teenager all the way back down to baby, they're curious all the way up. So when you tell them about don't do this, you can't just leave it right there. A lot of us want to know why them said don't do this. Well, we have to find out anyway, because I really want to know why them said don't do this. And then you go do the little something and you say, what, but that did feel good. Why them I tell me don't do that? Now do it again. And now you're hiding that you're doing it while they're telling you, make sure you don't do this. Next thing you know, father at 16. Oh, damn. Your father at 16 and your baby mother at 14 and 15. See that? Your whole world about to change. So the nurturing on both sides, a lot of us would have came out much differently had we been nurtured. Love, different. Love is providing, right? But love also has that nurturing part that we skip out. So stop going around telling people you're the best mom in the world and you love your kids so much, or you're the best dad in the world and you love your kids so much if you're not nurturing them. It's the most important part of loving, nurturing them. Y'all remember Black Panther? Remember when the father said, a man that does not prepare his son to be to survive after he has gone, and you don't know when you're going, is not a man at all. How you think you're going to do that? It's through nurturing. It's through nurturing. I'll put my kids in the car and drive them through the most frigged up neighborhoods you could find in Florida. And I'll slow motion through there with my gun on my lap. I said, look over here. You see this? Just keep looking. I'm slow driving through. I said, a lot of these people you see out here, Jaden, the way you acting up in school, this is exactly where they end up, right here. If they continued on the same path. They were the cool guys in school. They were the ones that made everybody laugh in the class, even I'm driving through. That made everybody laugh in the class, even when the teacher was out of her mind trying to tell you to behave yourself 50,000 times while she had 25 other children to pay attention to. They end up here. You see these living conditions? You don't apply yourself. This is where you're probably going to be able to afford to live. And it's simple mathematics. Apartments, houses, whatever housing in the other parts of town costs above a certain salary level. Okay? If you don't apply yourself like I'm trying to get you to, then you can go get a job anywhere. All right? And I'm not looking down on people's job, just wanting better for your children so they do better than you. I started working at 14 at a grocery store. I didn't want my children to have to live that. I act like, yeah, it was good and I was helping my mom pay bills, but that was pressure for a 14-year-old. See? And I was running track and field at the time and all this other stuff. So that was pressure. So it's always about bettering the next generation. So I bring them through it. Apartments over here, all paid for by the government. I think you pay like $25. See that sign right there? It says $305 a month for a 2-bedroom. You already know what kind of neighborhood that is, right? That kind of stuff. Drive them through, let them see everything, and watch them go through the motions. I see crazy videos come on, like there's one called Juvenile Penitentiary. It's a documentary where they go inside lockup for juveniles that are overacting up and getting in trouble, and they put them in there, and it's like a boot camp system. I bring them there. I said, let's sit and watch this together, because early stages of prison right here. Once you're in the juvenile system, you're one more step, just one step away from adult prison, right? Your choices can put you here really quickly. And they listen to the other kids' story of how they followed company and how they ended up there and how they had no guidance. Some of the kids are like, I wish I had a dad, man. Little boys, you know what I mean, that are becoming hardened criminals. And society is having to contain them now in a way that their parents can't even intervene. You can't go take your picnic out of lockup once the system get them. So yeah, a lot of us would have turned out different had we had that nurturing. It wasn't that daddy didn't love. Daddy was too busy, can't work enough, and mommy was too busy because she worked 2 jobs. Still got to find time for that nurturing, else it ain't love. Ain't love. It's love you're doing the minimum. Love, you know, love is unconditional, you know. Love means sacrifice, you know. Love is giving everything, you know. So, and you got to give them everything. You got to give them everything. If somebody gave us everything, they didn't give some of us everything. They gave us what they could, because it was the all right, your picnic, you're there, I forgot to take care of you. And you cute when you're little, so them show you off and oh, he's walking now and all this. But as you grow a little bit older, them just turn them back on you. They don't want to hear what's going on in your life. They don't have nobody to talk to. You know you can't tell them nothing. They're crazy judgmental. They don't see you as an individual. You start to develop away from them. Bad company or other things take you over. That right there leaves room for other people to step in. This is where start going looking for people who are affectionate and then getting, how should I say it, used in some form of a way by people who have no good intentions for you. So it turned out in molestation, it turned out into rape in some cases, turned out into just, and then you're damaged. And then here comes the damage you have to live with and try to work through all the rest of your life now. And yeah, so the nurturing. Anybody touch you down there? No, some parents never ask that. Some parents never ask that. Did anybody touch you down there? You know, no one is supposed to touch you there. You are the only person that goes there. All right. After them reach a certain age, like good touch, bad touch. Some parents never even take the time to explain to their children what good touch, bad touch is. What's violation versus what's okay and friendly. That kind of stuff. Some people never take the time. That's nurturing. That's pouring it all in. I want them to know some of everything so they can function properly out here. See? Masrick says, I'm 64 years old and still affected by not being loved or cared for by my parents. You see that right there? All right. This is testimony. I am 64. 64. And still affected by not being loved or cared for by my parents. Notice it said loved or cared for. So make sure for those of you who have children that you're not just saying you love them. Make sure you're actually doing it. How them say love is a action word, right? And I tell my audience all the time, don't listen to everybody that tell you they love you. Make them prove it. Or you don't even have to make them prove it, more or less, because that sounds forced. But watch their actions. You will know if it's love or not. Blessings, Samari Karen. Morning, Papa. Because I cut into your time this morning. Kai. Kai, you left a piece of cantaloupe over there. And there were ants in here. You okay? He's into his books. All right, so I'm winding up the show. I'm winding up the show this morning. Check it. My daughter just turned 1 a few days ago, right? And she did 14 steps, right, babe? She walked 14 steps yesterday by herself. Milani did, which was awesome. You know, my mom is like, this is how a lot of parents are too. Let's end this good. Let's end this on a lighter and not leave everybody feeling guilty. So my mommy is like, oh, you walk from 9 months old, or you walk from, some people are like, my daughter walked at 7 months old. My daughter walked at 8 months old. My children are in no race. And if you check back, that picnic really didn't walk at no 7 months old or not. That's just parents wanting to say, yes, my child is more advanced and is better and is the best thing since sliced bread. You know, that's how that part go. But to see Milani walk 14 steps yesterday by herself, and we counted them. We were like, 1, just step again, 2, just step again, 3, not holding on to anything. Hey, mama. Pretty girl. Bring my daughter, come here. Let me show her off a little bit. What is on your face? What is on your face? Yeah, do a facial. Come, daddy. Look, mommy, look. Look. Oh, my hat. The weird hat. Hi, mama. You want mommy? There she is. 14 steps she walked yesterday. 14. I was like, yes. Make you want to like shed a tear. Right, mommy? Yeah, man. Evan Edwards says the age and generation that children are now born in has changed, so they don't know how to give love. Yeah, like a lot of them are being born to teenage moms who in most cases were even abused before they became pregnant, and then get pregnant in teenage years and get baby. Not saying their child is a rape child, but there were other abusive. Yeah, talk to mommy. So me I talk to you now. And me I learn patois and everything like that too. Not true. Mm-hmm. Yeah, look on this one.
Chocolate.
Yeah, different times we living in. Different times we living in. That's why I always say I had a grandmother that was a real grandmother, grandfather that was a real grandfather, and parents that were at the age where it was good to be parents. So didn't come up with those dynamics, but I noticed that remember when it was shameful to actually get pregnant early? It's like the whole community come down upon girl, you know. Cause you carry belly and you in a school uniform like a girl. Big embarrassment you cause for your family. Remember that? The things we used to say nay to, the things we used to not accept, we slowly accepted them until they became normal. So now when we see teenagers go around with belly, we don't even bat an eye. It's just like, she young and she pregnant, I guess she breathe early, all right, and gone. And then it became normal. Yeah, so these new generations coming forward, a bare young mother who don't even know themselves yet. Look on them. So you see me look a pretty face, everybody. You look like one little dolly, you know? Daddy baby. She's gonna have a hell of an attitude. Cause yo, when she look at me sometimes she be like, just like her mom. She does the same facial expressions that her mommy does. I love you.
No,
You want binky?
no.
No binky? Yes. She just peeled her face off. My wife is standing right here, right? And she doing a face peel. So it looked like when she came in the room, I was like, what is on your face? Because it looked like her face was peeling off. But she just peeled it off in front of Melania. Melania was like, it looked like she peeled her face off. You tired of me now? Want to go, mommy? No, go, mommy. All right, contact Carmen. Say bye.
Tata.
Give them bye-bye.
Tata.
You want mommy? Go, mommy. Yes, go, mommy. Oh, and she got words. What are words I'm again, babe? She says she called her mom.
Dad.
She said that. She said something else. Up. Up is her word. Yeah. Said up. She go up, up, up. Oh my God. Up, up, up. On my shirt. Yeah. I never thought about that. But yeah, she has mom. She called mommy and she called dad and she called up. She just turned 1 a few days ago, right? So here we are, and Kai's right here doing his thing. The rest of the kids are around too. Everybody is here, actually. The rest of the babies are here. All 6 of my blessings are here, around here. One of these days we'll be on video all together, just so everybody, the people who've been following me for the longest, actually watch these children grow, right? You were there before there was Kai. You were there when Farai and Jadam were like little, and now everybody is big and like getting into different things in life, and it's just a joy. It's just a joy. So let me end this video like this. Thank you for tuning in. And let's have some give some serious thought to that. Some people didn't get no nurturing, but don't pass that around though. All right, don't pass that around. We breaking all kinds of generational cycles, man. We breaking all kinds of, what do you call them, babe? Generational curses. Yeah, we're breaking all those, or we're at least trying to. Not perfect. I can hear tomorrow said this woman had gone about her business, left me, and I'm over here doing morning thoughts and crying. I don't know what's in people's hearts and minds. You know what I'm saying? But adjust our life. But we're actively trying to break some generational curses and things and try to make it better for a future generation. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it right there for this morning. Big up to each and every one of you that tuned in. Thank you so much. Nurse James is what me do you. Look how long me heal you. Nurse James is here. Good morning, Nurse James. Thank you for being here. Big up yourself. Bro Shaka says, what you doing? Or what him do you? Why look how long I'm heal you and you're not healing back. So heal him back, please. All right. Bless up, people. Have a wonderful day, man. You already know. See there now. With a little, but to a what? Color what? And I saw the thing set. All right. I'm out. Peace.